Hello, everyone. Sorry I can't be there in person today, but I was asked to present this online or virtually to you, which is a summary of the project that we recently wrapped up looking at overcoming challenges in male dairy cows. What we did as part of this project was we looked at all our previous work that has summarized kind of key risk factors that impact the health and productivity of calves once they reach a calf raising facility. And what this work was predominantly based on was a data set of about 5,000 calves, where we completed a physical exam when calves arrived to the facility, collected a body weight when they arrived, and also took a blood sample to evaluate their level of past immunity. And what we found through that project was there's several key factors that are associated with health. Specifically, calves that arrived with a high body weight at arrival had a lower risk of disease, had a lower risk of mortality, and also improved level of growth during their production period. In addition, calves that didn't come in with an abnormal clinical sign, like diarrhea, like an umbilical infection, or other clinical signs of disease, so those that came in with no clinical signs, had a lower level of also mortality, lower level of disease. And finally, when calves came in with a successful passive transfer of immunity, which is from colostrum. So feeding colostrum at birth will lead to that successful transfer. Those calves also had a lower risk of disease and lower risk of productivity. So the takeaway from our work and the thing that we really wanted to get out through this mobilization initiative was that you can identify these calves at high risk at arrival or at high risk at the source dairy farm of origin before they go to the calf raising facility. And once you identify them, maybe you decide to manage them differently. Maybe you decide to change the management on the dairy farm to really improve the health and success of those calves. For this particular initiative, we wanted to target a couple audiences. We wanted to target dairy producers because these male dairy calves are initially raised on the dairy farm before they're sent off to the veal facility at around 7 to 14 days of age. We also wanted to target the veal producers so that they could identify these calves that are at high risk for developing disease, and also to bring some awareness of the calves that they should or could be purchasing in order to reduce the disease pressure at their facility. And then we finally also wanted to target advisors like veterinarians and nutritionists, which work with dairy and veal producers to improve their health on the farm and improve the nutrition that those calves are being provided. So one of the outputs of this project was to develop a video, a whiteboard video. And whiteboard videos have been used for quite a while in the agricultural community to get some of these complex ideas distilled down into something that is practical, is understandable, and ultimately, hopefully achievable on dairy and veal farms. So what we did was we created this 5-minute whiteboard video. It talks about all the key highlights that we achieved as part of the research project. We really distill it down into the key points and key ideas for the dairy producer to consider, and also for the veal producer to consider as well. We found that through this, the video has been up for about just under a year, and we've had about 1,500 views of this video. Just to highlight the importance of this initiative, I think getting information out to producers that are going to use it is a really important component of research. And I think through this initiative, we were able to get it out in a different way. So instead of relying on presentations, relying on magazine articles, we tried to create a different way that we could distribute this knowledge. So through the use of a video, something that's visual, something that's easy to listen to, and a key and informative message that gets across to the end user, which is the producer, as well as the advisors. So I think through this initiative, we had great success. We have distributed it to a number of different producers across Canada and more specifically in Ontario. And I think in the future, we're definitely going to use this type of platform, these type of whiteboard videos or images like this to really get our message across to producers. So with that, thanks for listening. If you have any questions about the project, feel free to send me an email just on the bottom of the screen. I'd be happy to chat about it. Thanks again.